Hey y'all, it's Matt from Sports Reports. I'm back to do a Seattle playoff recap, kind of going over what happened, my thoughts, and all that. So the Seahawks won their first playoff game on the road at Philadelphia. Their first playoff win since 2015 and first playoff win since 2016. The final score at Philadelphia, ironically, was the same final score as their regular season game earlier, 17-9. Seattle was a lot different in this game. They did not have a run game because of the loss of running backs Chris Carson, Rashad Penny, and CJ Prosise. But they did have Travis Homer and Marshawn Lynch. But they were unable to run the ball very well. Russell Wilson was the leading rusher with 45 rushing yards. Marshawn Lynch did have a 5-yard rushing touchdown. But besides that, they didn't really have anything. They had, as far as the passing game goes, they had rookie receiver DK Metcalf broke an NFL record for the most receiving yards by a rookie receiver with 160 receiving yards. 7 receptions for 160 yards, and he also had a receiving touchdown that was like 55 yards. Seattle's defense was basically a bend but don't break the whole game, where they gave up a lot of receiving yards, or passing yards, I should say. But in the second half, the defense was able to shut down Philadelphia and not let them score much. They only gave up 3 field goals. They sacked the quarterback. The Philadelphia's quarterbacks 6 times, which is, I believe, the record, or they tied for this season, which is a big deal. Early in the first half, quarterback Carson Wentz was knocked out of the game by Jadeveon Clowney. A lot of people say it was a questionable hit. If you look at it, if you slow it down, it looks more brutal than it was, but it could have gone either way. So that really hurt Philadelphia. Josh McCown, veteran backup quarterback, came in and surprisingly did really well. He moved the ball on Seattle's defense basically was able to operate the offense and get the ball down the field. Unlike Carson Wentz, who was unable to do that in the previous meeting, they did score the same amount of points, so he got that. As far as the Green Bay game, Seattle going into the game. There was a lot of talk, there was a lot of hope for Seattle being able to win the game, with Seattle having a pretty decent offense, really good passing game. And then there was a lot of talk of Green Bay being a really bad team at stopping the run. So Seattle, knowing that, going into the game, of course, like they did in the Dallas game last year in the playoffs, tried to run the ball the whole first half, and as usual, I believe they only were able to score like 1 field goal in the entire first half. And the few targets to tight end Jacob Hollister. That's like, it was kind of like that was all they were doing in the first half, and it was, first off, the offensive line was very leaky. With they had, playing guard. So the offensive line, they had a lot of injuries on it. Their left tackle just got back after missing several weeks because of a knee surgery, and he wasn't 100%. And then their left guard was knocked out because of a concussion, or their backup left guard was knocked out because of a concussion. Jamarco Jones, and then rookie Phil Haynes, who hadn't played a snap for Seattle during the regular season at all, pretty much since spring, filled in for them. But he did okay, but in a lot of plays, basically they weren't experienced enough or healthy enough to run the ball. And with Seattle's offense not being able to skate on the field long enough in the first half, that just wore out Seattle's defense with, I think by halftime, they had given up 3 touchdowns to Green Bay. I think one of them was a couple of them were thanks to a good field position. Seattle pretty much helped them there. There was a really bad play, I believe, in the second half, where corner Trey Flowers, he had a bad angle on receiver Devontae Adams, and gave up a big touchdown pass to him, like, going into the second half. And then I noticed, like, in the final stretch when Seattle came back, they were down only 5 points, and they pumped the ball back to Green Bay, hopefully trying to get a defensive stop on them. And they put a rookie nickel corner on Davante Adams, who has no experience really playing at all except special teams. He's played a few snaps in the regular season, and they put just him on him, and 3 straight big plays on third down where Seattle had a chance to get off the field and get the ball back to their offense. And Aaron Rodgers, all he had to do was throw it up to Davante Adams. And then the final big killer was the big pass to tight end Jimmy Graham, with 2 inexperienced defensive backs covering him. And that was the game sealer right there. A lot of people say that he was down before he got over the line. It's very questionable. Both angles, it looks different. Like, I would have said he didn't make it, but, you know, it could have gone either way. Offensively, Seattle in the second half was able to move the ball. Like, they pretty much ditched the run game and threw the ball a lot, with Russell Wilson rushing around to pick up some yardage, and then he make a big pass down the field. Wide receiver Tyler Lockett led the team with 10 receptions. There was a lot of hype with rookie receiver DK Metcalf having his career game in the playoffs the week previous in Philadelphia, an NFL record. Everyone was saying he was going to get a lot of targets, which he didn't end up getting. I don't believe he had a touchdown. I don't think he had a touchdown. Tyler Lockett had 9 receptions on 10 targets for 136 yards and a touchdown, which he led the team. The next closest receiver was DK Metcalf with 4 receptions on 5 targets for 59 yards. So that was a big drop-off right there. And then you could tell in the second half that, you could tell in the first half they really tried to run the ball, which they were unable to do. Marshawn Lynch had 12 rushes for only 26 yards. Russell Wilson led the team with 7 rushes for 64 yards. In the end, Seattle came very close to pulling off the upset in Green Bay. Hopefully, like, if they were just a little bit more healthier, like if they had Chris Carson or Rashad Penny available, maybe a little bit healthier offensive line, I think Seattle would have been able to pull off the victory in Green Bay, but they were unable to do that. Hopefully this next season, with the draft and free agency, and hopefully staying healthy, Seattle can get a little bit better. Like, just win that extra game, like the final San Francisco game. They were 1 inch short. You know, if they win that, they win the NFC West, and then they get the bye week and they play in Seattle. Like, that could have been a big deal, and that could have helped them get to the Super Bowl. Or, you know, even if, like, those couple little plays, like the Jimmy Graham thing, if they were able to stop that, or if they were able to get a touchdown in the first half, that could have turned the tide a bit. So, with this next year, hopefully they can make the leap to win just that 1 or 2 extra games to give them the win the NFC West. So thanks for watching. I'll be doing another movie breaking down the XFL Seattle Dragons team, their game this Saturday against the Tampa Bay Vipers I think it's at Tampa Bay. So I'll be breaking down again, do a movie on my reactions and thoughts and all of that. Next week I will do I'm going to be doing a movie on Seattle's draft grades for the 2019 season, how each rookie performed, and that's it. So if you, thank you for watching this movie. I hope I will be doing some more professional movies, or more thought out movies in the future with a little bit more planning involved. So thanks for watching. I'll see you around.